Morning troops. Another day, another drain. And that's another one of those, it's that time of month again. Work all night, fish all day. Yeah, so we're out on the middle level. Very calm, it's very still. There's a few clouds around, it's about 3 or 4 degrees. It's really pleasant. Drain's not running off, which is always a bonus. It's I'm fishing in there, 12 foot of water, 3 sliding floats, 2 static deads, 1 paternostered dead. Yes, on my right hand rod's paternostered roach. That's fishing about 2 foot, 2.5 foot off the deck. Don't know if the crabs are an issue here this time of year. They were at the beginning of the season, that's why I haven't been up. I mean, I love this drain, but the crabs are driving me crazy, so I've got my roach, which the crabs really seem to like, off the deck, about 2.5 foot off the deck on a paternoster rig. The middle rod is half a herring. The head half hooked directly through the snout, as is the roach, hooked directly through the snout. And the left hand rod, that's down by the left hand margin, that's half a herring, that's the tail section. Waste not, want not. Cut the herring in half and you can use it as 2 baits. So that's my plan of attack straight away, depending on whether the crabs are a nuisance or not. If the crabs are a nuisance or not for the bottom baits, I shall pop one up and I shall change another one over to the paternoster. I don't know, I mean, I might, so that's the way I'll probably go. I'll probably pop one up because I like fishing with a half a tail section. Kind of that paternostered. I mean, it'll be out there, but to me it don't look right. I mean, fish is a fish to a pike, I suppose, but I don't want the bottom half of the bait fish paternostered. So I should probably, if the crabs are a nuisance, I should pop that up off the deck. I've also got a selection of eel sections with me, so they're really tough. The crabs can't get snipped through them, so if I really want a bottom bait, I can use the eel section. But at the moment, as always, as soon as I arrive, just get the rods out in the margins, or 2 are in the margins. One's about 3 or 4 rod lengths out. That's about 12 foot of water as well. Pretty uniform. Once it drops down really quite sharp, and then it goes out. The only time you have an issue here really is when it's running off. I mean, when it runs off, 3 ounce weights are not holding the bottom out there where the middle rod is now. But at the moment everything's hunky-dory. When I say we're in, beautiful, calm, still day. There's plenty you see behind me, there's plenty of cloud around. I think it's going to be, well, it was forecast a few showers, but we can hear, it's lovely when we can hear his bird song, isn't it? And it makes a change to go to different venues. You can't, well, you can fish the same venue every week in, week out, can't you? But I like to mix it up a bit, even though you fish in rivers and drains, and you like to think yourself you're fishing for wild fish, if you're in a certain section or a certain part of the river or a certain drain, you're more or less fishing for the same fish all the time, really. I know they do migrate quite fair distances. I mean, I've had a repeat capture of a jack, and it was obvious it was a repeat capture because it had a very distinctive piece of flesh missing from a cormorant. And I caught it in the morning, and then 2 or 3 hours later I moved a mile or 2 up the drain and I caught it again. So they can move a fair whack fish, but as I say, I like to mix my venues up. I don't want to target the same fish all the time. So here we are. We ain't been up here since probably October. I had a night session and the crabs drove me up the wall and I packed up by midnight. It was diabolical. So we're out here. It looks lovely. I'm going to show you the swim and then we'll have some breakfast. Ain't had no breakfast yet. So let's get cracking. Let's show you this drain. What a beautiful morning. Let's have a look at this swim. There's the right hand rod. As I said, paternostered roach. That's in 12 foot of water. That's hooked directly through the snout. A size 4 circle hook. And that's directly hooked through the snout on a circle hook. There's the middle rod. That's half a herring, the head section. That's obviously directly on the deck, static dead bait. But as it's the head section, I've also directly hooked that through the snout. And there's a left hand rod. That's half a herring. That's the tail section. See how still it is. It's supposed to be quite a brisk northerly breeze today, but at the moment it's like a mill pond out there. As you can see, it's just off the line of Norfolk Reed. Middle rod's out in mid-water, and the right hand rod's just off the Norfolk Reed as well. Yeah, so I always want to catch, but you tell you what, if it was like this all day, you could quite easily sit here, while away the hours, contemplating life, the universe and everything, couldn't you? What a glorious morning. Nothing if not predictable. Here's my 2-hour update. If you don't catch a fish, it's always 2 hours in. The predicted northerly breeze has kicked in now. It's blowing down the drain. There were quite a few showers this morning. Now you can take it from that I'm talking about the weather and not about any fish. That I haven't had any action at all. I've moved the baits around 2 or 3 times. So I've covered the whole swim arm in, you know, every angle, every distance, nothing. Just boosted the baits, all three of them with sardine oil. Had a recast, hopefully a little bit of extra oil in the water to attract something round. I am my right hand rod is right down the reed bed now, 20-30 metres down, a bit closer in. The left hand rod's right in the margin, and centre rod is just out 4 or 5 rod lengths, where I would normally be fishing for skimmers and roach and bream and, you know, tench in the summer. So the 3 rods are all out again, but I say boosted. But at the moment, nothing. I mean, it's been a lovely morning, lovely and peaceful up here. Yes, I was working last night, so I thought, well, and I hadn't made my mind up where I was going to go. So I had two venues in mind. I had this middle level and a 20-foot at Whittlesea. And I was umming and ahhing, and then I haven't fished up here since probably October because of the crabs. So I thought, oh, sod it, I'll give it a go, and worst comes to worst, I'll have to pop all my baits up. So I drove up here. It was about 40 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes from work. It's not, you know, it's not no hardship. Of course, I come up the road. There's the bridge in the distance, and then I see there's already a car there. Wow, no. They're amazing, it miles and miles of drain. You see one car and your heart sinks. But they're about a mile downstream, so half a mile to a mile downstream. So we're not nowhere near each other. So it's, I mean, there's only 2 of us on the section. So we're here, got it, and at the moment nothing. But you know, it's early days. I mean, sometimes I've come in, you know, I've come here before and had runs, instant hits. Other times I've had to wait, you know, and get like 5 or 6 runs in the course of a day. So all you can do is present your baits. They keep moving. I think some people leave them, don't they? You know, just bomb them out and they stayed out. Me, I like to move my baits around. I like to move around the swim with my baits. Maybe, you know, you don't know, you could be plonking that bait in right in front of a pike. So that's the way I look at it. But at the moment, so we've got a stiff northerly breeze now. So I had to brolly up for a little while because of the rain, but the sun's poked out again. Quite pleasant when the sun's out. Yeah, it's quite warm. So hopefully sport's going to warm up. That's what we want, isn't it? We want some blinking pike on the bank, and well, even some zander. I mean, they do them both. That's a cracking stretch of drain. You know, if you hit the fish, untapped potential. There's so many miles of it. Finding the fish, getting on the fish, and then hopefully catching them. But at the moment, it's a waiting game. Oh, one of those days, I think. It ain't been great viewing, I suppose, up to now, troops. It's been even worse sitting here on the bank. Not a thing, no encouragement, no signs of anything. Not even a nice bit of wildlife to look at, really. I've seen a couple of great crested grebes, a heron from a distance. Other than that, it's, you know, it's been very quiet. You know, no movement on the bank, no movement, more importantly, down there in the water. It's been a very slow day so far. Burnt me bridges, really. I mean, I'm up here now. I could move to another section, I suppose, but on a drain like this, You hunt down the fish, or do you wait for the fish to come to you? It's a tough nut to crack sometimes, the middle level. And like any venue, I mean, I could sat here all morning without a touch, and I could have a blind in the afternoon. So that's, you know, got to stay positive and upbeat. I'm going to keep rotating the baits, moving them around, boosting them, things like that. And just hope something comes along. At the moment, it's a bit of a cold east-northeast wind. So I'm tucked under the brolly out of the wind, which is alright. But you're not looking at the water all the time because the brolly's side on, if you know what I mean. So it's tough going at the moment, but hopefully we'll nab a few. I mean, we're really running out of time now. 3 weeks of the season left, that's it. So keep plugging on, keep persevering. I say keep rotating the baits, doing what I know works, doing what I think works, I should say, because there'll be loads of people out there that disagree with my methods, and there'll be loads of people that agree with them, and there'll be loads of people that do different things, and we can all be successful, or we could all fall flat on our faces. That's the way fishing goes. So at the moment, yeah, it's hard going, bit of tough work, but I'd rather be doing this than sat at home. Well, I wouldn't even be sat at home because I worked all night. Well, it's midday, so I very rarely sleep past midday when I'm on night. So I've been just potting around the house, moaning and groaning, and I just had a phone call asking me to go in tomorrow for overtime. So that's it. This is me one day a fortnight to go fishing, and I've got to make the most of it. So going to keep plugging on, going to rotate them baits again, and hopefully the afternoon will be a lot more productive and action packed than this morning's been. Well, the sun's about to set, troops. It's been a long, hard, grueling day, really. It's the old middle level's not offered up any encouragement at all. It's been a slog, so just wanted to have another little chat with you before I went, just to say thanks for watching, thanks for all the subscriptions. There's a lot of you who watch and don't subscribe, so was it down there? Is it down there? I don't know. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, it's been a tough day. So we've got work for a few more days now. I might be able to get out next week, hopefully, for a couple of days, and that'll be it. My pike season's going to be over. So it's not dark yet, so it ain't over, but I'm having a slow pack up. I'm going to obviously, if I catch anything, I'll tag it on the end of this. I really do appreciate the views and all the comments and all the likes. Thanks very much. Let's see if we can catch something for you before we go.